Now, okay, not to waste your time. Fast, may we'll cover as much as we can. Okay, so today's intention is very simple. We are in the second part of this chapter, third number chapter, but second part. Now, this part is basically on the ETL, extract, transform, and load. So what is the introductory part? We'll be talking about this in today's session. Then we will be talking about the requirements, that is stepwise, that is how to get data extraction. There are methods. Okay, so extraction methods कौन say? So there are two methods, which are, one is logical extract method and second one is physical extract method. So we will be talking about these two methods, and third part we'll be talking about the loading. This extraction होने के बाद transform, that will be done, but what about the loading part? So loading will be, with the techniques we'll be talking about the loading, and finally the tools, the softwares which are available on the ETL, that will be the crucial part. So which are tools are there which are working on this extract, transform, load, that we will be discussing. So shall we start now? Yes, everyone is there now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the ETL, everyone, I think everybody knows. ETL stands for the process where we are extracting. Now everything. Now see, we have already stored our data into the data warehouse up till now. As the virtually what the syllabus says, that we have stored, how it is stored, that is not our concern now. We have a data which is stored in data warehouses. Now we will be doing some analytical operations, that is OLAP, online analytical operations, and on that basis we will be generating some reports that will be helping the business to grow or to have some business related decision making from the higher authority. So the process which is being done before taking some reports or before generating some conclusion from your data, the operations which is working behind this is nothing but your ETL operations. So there are developers who are working on the process of ETL. What is the ETL? The ETL is a process which extracts the data from different sources, that transform the data, applying some mathematical calculation or some doing some concatenation, and finally loading the data into the data warehouse system. Now this full form of ETL, this is what is called as ETL operations. The full form of ETL, everyone knows that it is extract, transform, and load. The three operations are interconnected to one another, so that's why we call it as extract, transform, and load, that is ETL operations. So so we are tempting to think of creating a data warehouse is simply extracting data from different sources and loading into the database of the data warehouses. This is what is the operations been done. Okay, now the truth behind this is that whenever we are working with the ETL process, the ETL process requires active input from various stakeholders. So everyone knows that. Now who is the stakeholder of your data warehouses? The developers, the analysts, the tester, the top executives, the technical team that is facing the challenges. This all people will be working together for the purpose of ETL. Now in order to maintain the value of tool of decision making, because the intention of ETL is only one thing, that is a decision making. The second important thing is that you need to have the change, you have to have some business challenges, and to handle those business challenges you need to operate something on the parameters like a daily, weekly reports or daily, monthly data. So data warehouse system is automated, agile, and well documented, and this will be supported with the help of ETL operations. So what is ETL? Why we need ETL nowadays? Because we have data, we have ample number of data. Now the organization want this data to be extracted and to be converted into such a way that it should have some decision making operations. In those situations we will be going into the ETL operations. So the reason, there are some reasons why we go for ETL. So the reasons we will be discussing into detail. Now first one, when why we go for ETL, it is because it helped the companies to analyze the business data by making critical business decision. So the intention is very simple, to analyze your business data. This is the one thing. Okay. Second one, transaction database cannot answer complex business. ट्रांजेक्शन डेटा मतलब क्या? ट्रांजेक्शन जो होता है टेबल, उसके ऊपर आप डिसीजन नहीं ले सकते, बट whenever you want to have a decision, the complex business questions, the ETL tools will be helping us to get the output from the transaction databases. That is called the fact tables. Now data warehouses provide a common data repository. मतलब क्या, you will be getting the common data from different sources. So your sources might be your database, or it might be a PDF or Excel sheet or a Word document. Anything can be converted into data repository. ETL provide the most method of moving data from various sources into the data warehouses. So you can convert or you can transfer the data from various sources into data warehouse. This is the wonderful thing that the ETL can be doing. So that's why we are moving towards ETLs. Okay. Now the data sources changes. The data warehouses will automatically update automatically. Data warehouses will be updating the as and when required. No need for you. And well designed and documented ETL documentation will helping the data warehouse projects to get completed in a very precise way. So that's why we are moving towards the ETL. Are you clear with this? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there are various things that whenever we are talking of the what you ETL, that is, we will be doing some data transformation, aggregation, and some mathematical calculation rules are again implemented. So this type of operation you can do very precisely with taking the help of ETL. Now one more important thing is that ETL process allowed sample data comparison with the source and targeted. So you can do data comparison also with your sources and with your targeted also. Okay, so this opportunity is also been available over with the ETL. ETL process can perform complex transformation. Again, I am telling it is complex transformation is very critical, and it can be done with the ETL tools. Now again, you can do for migrating the data from data warehouses. You can migrate the data and you can do these operations on the with the help of ETL. ETL is predefined process of accessing and manipulating sources and targeted. So you can manipulate the source and the target databases also. And you can go for the historical contents also. You can maintain or you can work on the data which is preserved in the database from some decades, 10 15 years data can be worked, and you can get a very concluded answer, or your business decision you can generate it from the historical data, which is not possible with any other tool. And the last one is that it improves the productivity. The more the it is, as it is working on the agile system, that is agile data, that is historical data, 100% you will be getting a huge data for reference, and the technical skill will help us to improve the productivity of your system. Okay, so just a simple example I want to tell you, that is whenever you are working with the ETL process, data warehouse standing, you will be getting a data from Oracle or SQL or from Teradata or from flat files. So the ETL is the process is nothing but extracting the data from different data sources, stacking area will be integrating the different databases, whether it is from any database or from your file, and then after that it is been loaded with very systematic transformation into the data warehouses. So are you clear with this ETL? Yes, process? Yes or no? Diagrammatically?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
okay. Now the first one is extraction. And ये तीन का operations हम करते हैं, extraction, transformation, and the third operation is your loading. Okay, ये तीन operation हम करते हैं. These are the only three steps. Okay, now what is extraction? Now what is happening into extraction? The ETL architecture, data is extracted from the source system into the staging area. Now this example I've told you that this is a staging area. Different sources can be anything, your Oracle or your MySQL or your Microsoft server or your Excel sheet or your PDF also. Anything can be converted. Now here in the first process, that is extraction, you are extracting the data into the staging area. This is extraction. Okay, now staging area, this data is extracted from the source system into the staging area. Transformation, if any done in the staging area, so that the performance of the source is not degraded. So in this operations of extraction, you will be having the data warehouses integration system with different. So you here the integration is the most important as far as the extraction is concerned, because you need to integrate different data files, different data formats. So here you will be implementing DBMS, that is database management system, the hardware, the operating system, the communication protocols which will be required for the communication between the two. So extraction is nothing but you will be working on different algorithms which are required for by the operating system, by hardwares, the DBMS, and for the communication protocols which we will be working between the different databases. So sources can be from any legal applications, like you can extract the data from mainframe, the customized application, from point control devices like ATMs, or from switches, or from text files, or from spreadsheets, or from any ERP, or from any third party vendor. So you will be extracting the data, and this data will be then transferred to the transformation. So before transferring the data which is you have extracted from different sources, you will be implementing some methods over there. So three data extraction methods are required but implemented nowadays. Now one is called as a full extraction, second one is called as a partial extraction, that is without update notification, that is partial data, and third one is partial extraction with update notification. So without update notification and with update notification, we will be having extracting the partial data. Okay, so full extraction and partial extraction, these are the basic two types of extraction method. But in partial extraction we can do with out notification and with notification of your updates. Okay, now what is this one? Okay, so irrespective of the method use, whatever method your company is preferable, you can use it. And this source data are live produce data which is provided, and this data will be provided, and there will be some validation operation will be done whenever you are working with extraction. So either you follow the bottom up or top down any approach. So there are different approaches we have seen in chapter number 3. There are different approaches of extraction, but the methods are three: full extraction, partial extraction with notification, without notification. But whenever you are extracting, you will be doing some validation. What is validation? It is checking the authenticity of your data, checking the authenticity of your data. Now it is done. The validation is been done by reconcile record with the source data. So reconcile the records with the source record, that is you are doing some testing operation over here. The testing operation here we call it as validation, that is the source data, whether the data which is with loaded and the data which is on the source, whether they are matching or not. So that is validation been done. Make sure that is no spam or unwanted data is loaded. You have to check it. As far as validation is concerned, you have to check the data types, because this is the most important. Data types you need to check. Remove all types of duplicated or fragmented data. You have to go for, whenever you go for extraction, don't go for duplicate datas. And finally check whether all keys are in place or not. Keys matlab kya? Primary keys and foreign keys are there or not. So this is the only thing whenever you are working with extraction. Extraction matlab kya? Different data sources, you are putting all data into a staging area. This staging area is temporary area where you are doing some validation, and these are the 5 major things you are doing as far as the validation is concerned. Yes, everyone is clear with this or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now once it is there, now what, it is loaded into your staging area. Now the work goes to the, after successful loading, now it is extraction, it is then transport to the next phase called the transformation. Now transformation, in yesterday's chapter I have told you that transformation is done like this is a diagrammatic representation. I want to show you like this one. Okay, now see, data integration is required. Now you are having some small example I want to take, that is a banking application. You will be getting the information from saving account, loan account, trust account, or credit card accounts. So you will find these are interlinked with one another, interlinking with one another, because everything the bank is related to the money transformation between the different accounts. So same data different name, different data same name, data found here nowhere else, or different key same data. So there are huge complexities whenever we are talking about a transformation. So the ETL operations will be helping us to transform the data. Now what is this one? So data extracted from the source is raw. Now In this phase of transformation, usually there will be needed there will be some operation like cleaning, mapping and transformation. There will be the operation of cleaning, mapping and transformation. And in fact, in this, the key step of ETL process is this one, that is transforming. This is the major step of ETL. And changing data, such as you will be having some BI reporting. I have told you that the basic intention is that you will be using the tools that will be helping us to transform the data, that is cleaning of data and mapping the data. So the important ETL concept whenever you are working, that is the data transformation. Data requires many transformation operations, and we call this operation called as a direct move or passive through data. So what is direct move? Directly move matlab kya? There is no need for you to do some operations. So that is called as a direct move. You can transform the data directly for the business EI reporting. This is the mode is called as a direct move. And if you find that there is need for the cleaning, or there is a need for the mapping of a data, or there is a need for transforming the data, in those situations you will go for that another technique called as a pass through data. Okay, then it will be made visible. So in transformation step, you will find you can perform customize operation on the data. Customize operation on data means what? User wants sum of salary, revenue, in which you will be applying your aggregation functions, you will be applying your internal logic, and you will be linking with one another. Now following are the steps of data integrity platform. So whenever you are integrating different platforms, so following are the steps. We are not concerned about the step of our how this integration is done, but the most important step, as far as this your transformation is concerned, that is some validation you need to do whenever you are in this stage. Now validation matlab kya? You have to check the data at this phase whether it is beneficial for the loading into your analytical tool or not. So filtering, that is select only certain columns to load. So validation matlab kya? Transforming, if you have 50 columns, but these 50 columns are not of any use, you want to make a decision out of only 15, or out of only 20 columns. In those situations you will be removing those columns temporarily. That is, you will be doing some transformation of reducing the column size from 50 to 20. This thing is called as a filtering. Okay, so you will be selecting only certain column for the purpose of loading. The technique is called as a filtering, and here you have to do the validation whether it is authentic or not. Second one, using rules of lookup tables for data standardization. Lookup matlab kya? You will be looking the content whether it is feasible for data standardization or not. Then there is a character set conversion, that is encoding of handling. So there is a different character sets you will be working, that is 16-bit or 32-bit or encoding of data. In that you have to go for character encoding, whether it is required you have to check it for the purpose of validation. Then you have to go for unit of measurement, that is whenever you are working with time or date or your currency or some numerical method, you have to go for the unit measurement, whether the unit measurement is correct or not. Then data threshold validation, that is age cannot be moved from more than 2 digits. So here some validation you have to do as far as the data is concerned. So this is small example, that is the age should be less than, it should be the 2 digit, not more than 2 digit as far as the person human being is concerned. If you are working on the domain like insurance, you will be very precise wherever you are working with the age constraint. So data flow validation, the staging area is implemented, then you require some fields that are not to be blank, so null value should be removed. And if you are cleaning it with null value, some value should be replaced. So if it's gender, a male or female, that should be added. Then in some situation we will be doing some merging of multiple columns, we will be doing some merging of single columns. Okay, there in some situation you will be going of transposing rows into column, matrices, columns into row, that type of operation we have to do in some your transformation. And in some situation you will need to go for merging the datas also. So this is all what the operations are required as far as the transformation is concerned. So are you clear with this one? Yes or no? Extraction, transformation. Yes. Now, yes.
So,
Okay. Now, final step, that is loading. Loading मतलब क्या? Loading और data into targeted data warehouses. आपको उसको load करना है warehouse में. Now it is very simple. Now this loading can be done in three ways. That is initial load, then incremental load, and then full refresh. Okay. Initial load मतलब है first time whenever you are loading the data, it should be called as the initial load. Then frequently after 15 days, 20 days, or daily, just like a banking transaction, we have a incremental load every day at 4:30 or 3:30 onwards. You will find that daily the banks are uploading the data into the data warehouses. This is called as incremental load. Okay, some may be incrementing daily, some may be incrementing 15 days or quarterly or yearly. So initial data will be override with the new data, that is called the incremental load. And some data will be refreshed frequently, just like a stock market. You will find that the data is refreshed at every moment. Okay, so loading operation is based on your scenario. It is loaded on your, nowadays the warehouses are on clouds, so you will find that the loading operation is continuously in a refreshing mode. So this is what the loading operation is. So are you clear with this three operation: extract, transform, and loading? Yes or no? So based on your business operations, the loading operation will be done, whether to go for a incrementing loading or the full refresh loading. So whether you are on a cloud or you are not in a cloud, so this is the thing that is on the load. Yes. Yes, everyone is clear with this, yes or no?
yes, sir.
Okay, small tools I want to tell you what all tools are there nowadays people are preferring. You can go for the tools also. That is, one is a Mark Logic. This is one tool that is working on data warehouses for the purpose of ETL operation. Then there is Oracle, you can use for an ETL operation. Then there is Amazon Redshift. Nowadays it is being recommended for many of the people are using Amazon Redshift. So these are the best, what we consider the three best tools now in the market, which are working on ETL: Mark Logic, Oracle, and Amazon Redshift. Huge openings are there for Redshift nowadays. Yes. Okay. The last point of the day, I want to just cover the best practice of ETL process. Never, whenever you are in the best practice, whenever you are working in the under this ETL process, never try to clean all the data. Never, never ever try to clean all the data. ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है. Never try to clean all data. Never clean any time anything, and determine the cost of cleaning the data, because cleaning a data requires a time and it is a very constrained thing that you have to do as far as the ETL process. And last one, to speed up your query processing, you should have an access way views and index. So you should be converting your data into auxiliary views and indexes, then only you will be getting a fast retrieval of data. This should be the ETL process. This should operations you should follow if you are a ETL developer. So are you clear with this one? The three softwares, that is Mark Logic, Oracle, and the Amazon Redshift. These are the tools, and the three operations we have learned, that is extraction, transformation, and loading operations of ETL. Are you clear with this one? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we have covered this part. Remaining part will be covered in next session, where we will be talking about the what we call as logical extraction and physical extraction, and then loading techniques, and then we will be winding up with the chapter number 3. Only three concepts are remaining from this chapter, and we are at the end of the chapter number 3. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can speak. Yes, no doubts.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll meet in the next session, and we'll be continuing with the remaining third three parts, and we'll be winding with chapter number 3. Okay, so good day and have a good time.